What's up, everybody? Welcome to our review of the Invincible TV show season. We're going to be talking about every single episode that came out and our thoughts on this. With me, as always, breaking this stuff down is my hetero life mate, my man Seth. What is going on, bro?
I am invincible.
You're inevitable. I don't know about invincible. And with me as well is the raging Mando, Frankie. How are you, bro?
What's up, buddy? My wife thinks I'm invisible.
You're Sometimes I'm invisible to my wife too.
We could all be so fortunate.
Oh man, if this is your first time on the show, we try to talk about a TV show every single Saturday. We've been doing Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We did The Mandalorian. What else did we do?
That was it.
No, we also did WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yes. And unfortunately, some of these things are overlapping. You know, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was going on at the same time as Invincible, so we figured we'll just do the entire season of Invincible. So I think next week we have Star Wars, right?
Oh yeah,
that's gonna be cool to watch.
Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch. So we're talking Invincible right here. This comic by Kirkman,
Robert Kirkman.
Yes, Robert Kirkman, the same guy who did The Walking Dead.
Yep.
Yes. So awesome comic, awesome TV show, full of bloodiness. It is not a kids' TV show.
It is super violent.
Yeah.
Super violent.
Yeah.
And for me to say
violent.
something super violent, it takes a lot. Because I'm usually all for all the blood and gore and guts and crap. But this was like every time something happened, I was like, ah! You know, I was like, I just got all startled. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, did they really just do that?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So just to tell you guys before we get started, there's going to be kind of a little bit of a different review here. I've actually read a good part of I've read this entire book here, and I'm onto the middle of book 2. I started reading it shortly after I saw the trailer, so I will have some comparisons to the comic as we go along. I don't think Seth has read the comics. I know Frankie hasn't read the comics, so you're gonna get reviews from them, just like some of you have been that have just watched the TV show. So I'm interested in seeing what your guys' point of view is, how you guys felt about the show, you know, seeing it for the first time. For me, a lot of the stuff I kind of knew was coming up, so I didn't have that same shock as some of you guys did. So overall, what you guys think of the show?
It was great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I liked the direction of where the story was going. There were parts where it was a little slow at some parts, but you know, obviously I get it. They're trying to tell the story and you know all the backstories, and you know, again, since I haven't read the comic book, like I don't know if a lot of the characters were in the show or actually in the comic, because you know they do that sometimes. Like you know, Daryl wasn't in the comics, you know, for The Walking Dead, but they added him to the show. So you can elaborate on that. Like, so if anybody that you saw in the show, you know, was the comic and not on the TV show, or you know, vice versa. But for the most part, I liked it. I thought it was great. Little bit of a different, you know, not your normal superhero type show. Right. You know, there's a lot of things going on, whether it's his battle with his personal life or him trying to, you know, cope with the idea of being a superhero and how to balance everything in his life. So, I mean, it was good though. Overall, I enjoyed it.
Frankie?
I agree 100%. I think I love the animation on it.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of feels some of that violent stuff. It feels like it could be a segment in the Heavy Metal movie.
Yeah.
It could.
Yeah.
Holy heavy metal.
Some of it was really, really violent, man. Ultra violent.
Yeah. But it wasn't. I mean, so I knew there was some in there, and when it started, I was like, oh damn, it's this kind of cartoon. Sweet.
Right. What was your favorite? Let's say favorite episode of the bunch. But Seth said there was some slow ones, so obviously there was probably something he didn't like.
I think. I mean, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, I like them all. I like them all. I think I kind of like I like the first one a little bit more than the rest.
Okay.
The first episode, because I like the build up to everything that happened, and it kind of got you excited to see where the rest of the show went. Mm-hmm. I definitely like episode 7. I agree with Frankie.
Episode 7
Episode 8 was kind of the final episode to me, was kind of like almost like a letdown, so that's why I can't really agree with Frankie on that. But but for the most part, I mean, yeah, I think episode 1 was probably my favorite one.
What
Yeah,
about you,
I think
Frank?
go back. It's 7, right? When he does the reveal of who he really is.
No, that's 8.
That's 8.
8. So 8
Yeah.
for me, because that was it had that Empire Strikes Back twist to me. I mean, I didn't see it coming.
Right.
Exactly. We were gonna have a Star Wars reference sooner or later.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
Well,
but
Yeah.
I mean, because that's like you think back, some of the biggest plot twists in a show or a movie or something.
Oh yeah,
Very, very, very few of them that like really just go, oh damn, did not see that.
Yeah.
And they pulled that off with this.
See, for me, I had a very the differences in the comic. I had a very different take on all this, is because in the comics, it took a very long time to reveal that Omni-Man was the bad guy, or that, especially the scene where Omni-Man kills the Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah.
In the TV show, that happens like right at the beginning, first episode.
Yeah.
So
you have no context or build up to it.
Right.
It just happens.
In the comics, you had a good half of this first book where there was a lot of build up of Mark and his dealing with his superhero abilities, his relationship with his father. I felt like they talked a little bit more about that leading up to it, and then you had this whole feeling of the dad, like he's a good guy, and then out of nowhere he kills the Guardians of the Globe. So for me, when I read the comic, I was like, what did I miss in this last beginning of the book? Is because when they told me to read the book, and everybody was like, you're going to enjoy the book, you're going to love the book. The first part of this book is very, very, very slow. So I had a really hard time getting through it. Like I was like forcing myself to keep going, but I was like, there's gonna get better, something's gonna happen, and then finally it does happen, and then I was like, what the hell did I miss in the beginning? I was like, let me go back and try to catch up on stuff.
Right.
So when they show that, you have that happen, you get this really like shock and feel like maybe he was brainwashed, maybe something occurred that they were going to reveal later, and real quickly on, like within the next maybe couple of issues later, they have that whole moment of the 8th episode. So it happens really rather quickly in that sense. So but there's that, and there's also other things too, of the way they move things around. A lot of the different parts of this story in the TV show don't even happen in this first book. They happen later on, and they kind of drag them into here, and they move everything around to make the story work. So there's that. For me, I think that the lowest episode for me was the one where they went to the school. That's the one I didn't care for the most.
Yeah, that was the 6th step. That was the 6th episode.
That was the 6th episode, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I like it's funny because like I started watching the show and like I instantly like started laughing because like I felt like I was like watching like a knockoff Justice League.
Oh yeah.
You had the Flash, you had the Wonder Woman, you had Superman, you had this guy who was like Batman. And then there's other characters that eventually wind up showing up that have like like there was a person who could shrink and could grow, so you were laughing because you're like, oh, there's Ant-Man. And it was just a lot of knockoff of other superheroes. But I mean, the whole thing with the Guardians thing, that whole fight scene was just crazy because it's like it literally showed the strength of Omni-Man. It was basically like Superman turning on the Justice League.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, and it was just so freaking dark.
Violent.
I mean, like. He's fighting this guy like that's like the equivalent of like the Flash, and the dude's just like straight like punching his chest hard again. All of a sudden, he just goes, blah! And just head just explodes. And like when he first did that, I was like, "Ow!" I was, Melissa's like, "What's the matter with you?" I'm like, "The show." It's like it's just wow. It got violent. Way fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went from 0 to 10 like that.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere. And that happened in a post-credit scene, right?
That wasn't the post-credit scene.
No, it wasn't.
That wasn't the post-credit scene? I'm pretty sure it was.
No,
what was the post-credit scene of that episode of that show then?
The post-credit episode of that scene was the guy who runs the super agent, the superhero agency showing up, and they're seeing all the Guardians on the floor.
Okay. I thought
Omni-Man's lying on the floor, and like all the whole medic team runs in. Yeah.
Yeah. So where you had to read the comic and then it's building up to something, showing the relationship stuff. Like for me, not having read that, when he kills all of them, I'm like, okay, so main thing you're going to go to is like, okay, so he has his family and stuff, so he seems like he's a nice guy and he's looked at as a superhero. So now I'm watching all these episodes and I'm trying to see, all right, who brainwashed him to do this and why are they brainwashed? That's the things I'm looking for in the story. And then when it got to episode 8 and then do that reveal that he's the whole invading alien race, I'm like, oh shit, I didn't see that coming.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm thinking. He was brainwashed the whole time.
I kind of thought the same thing as Frankie did. Like there was some kind of like mind control thing going on. Like some kind of like mega ultra supervillains going to reveal themselves that they had mind control over him or something like that. And the fact that
between the director and Robot, you're like, okay, there's two really shady kind of characters.
Yeah,
right.
One of them's got to be the one doing it.
Yeah. So like after that whole thing happened, I was like, and then obviously the reveal, we were all like, whoa,
Yeah, he's just a dick.
He comes from a planet of dicks.
Yeah, but see, I that's how the vibes I got from him throughout the show. It's like okay, you've just like he gets reviewed. At least to me, his character plays out more of just I'm an asshole, and that's what it is.
Never trust a man with a mustache.
Yeah, right.
Trying to redeem themselves with the goatee.
All three of us never trust a man with a mustache.
But yeah, it's like at least in the book, you had a feeling of warmth between the dad and the kid, and that I didn't. At least that's what I got when I was reading it that I didn't get in the TV show. Although go ahead.
Well, no, I'm saying, you got the warmth because he wanted his son to be by his side while they invaded Earth. He was trying to teach his son.
Yeah, but
he was trying to teach Mark.
Right, but in the way they revealed it in the show, nothing leading up in the episodes made me feel like the dad was endearing or sincere or anything like that with the kid, So when the end, when he was trying to tell him, hey, in the comics that happens too, hey, this is the way it's got to be. We're gonna take and make Earth a better place and all this stuff like that. All I felt in the TV show was you've been a dick all 7 episodes pretty much. You've been kind of distant. You do have your moments, but most of it is just you're an asshole.
His side glances. Stuff
yeah,
like that. Yeah.
But there's a part in the episode too, like that scene where he's getting his ass whooped when he's helping Titan. And that wolf or that
that wolf creature comes out of nowhere
and fucks him up.
The lion king.
The lion thing. Yeah, the lion king. Yeah. There's a part of that episode where Omni-Man is above him, and you can see his shoes, like he's looking down on his kid getting his ass whooped. And it's like, this entire time you're there,
that's a
you
good point. It's like, why ain't you? I did think that. Why ain't you helping him?
Well, because he wanted to see if his son could
do
it.
His own, yeah,
his own.
Yeah,
clearly
episode 8 and 5, and episode 5 too.
That episode was good. I like that episode. It's like Titan. Yeah. See, in the comics, Titan doesn't have that role, or at least it doesn't have that role yet. In the comics, Titan is just somebody that he runs into a few times so far. Anyway, from where I'm at in the reading, the way he meets him in the beginning is the same, where he punches him through
the buildings,
and then later on he runs into him again when he's asking for help with something. At least where I'm at in the comics. But that whole thing of him becoming the Kingpin, I was like, man, that was a great twist. I thought that was good.
That was very diabolical.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
They built him up as his family man, and it's like dude's just stuck in a bad situation. And then at the end of the episode, when he's standing, he's like, "Way to go, boss," or whatever he said. I'm like, "Oh, that asshole! He just played him."
He just used them for nothing.
Yeah.
As soon as I got done watching that, I posted that on the group. I'm like, "Damn that dude."
I gotta tell you though, I like that one dude.
Which guy?
I forgot what his name is. He's the guy on the Guardian, the newer Guardians, not the older Guardians. The guy that throws the exploding balls. I forgot what his name is.
Yeah, the speed guy.
Yeah, no, he's not he's not a speed guy.
Is he not speed?
He throws
Adam Eve's old boyfriend.
Yeah. So I was I was laughing my ass off when he comes out of the shower and then the girl who can multiply herself comes out of the shower.
Rex explode.
And she's like, "Oh, you're cheating on me." He's like, "But just not with one, but with two." And it's like, "Oh, you devil dog, you know." It's like, Yeah, duplicate. Yeah,
Duplicate. I like the
Yeah,
names. Some of the names are pretty cool.
Yeah, the names are pretty cool.
yeah. Some
All
of
right,
the Omni-Man's kind of a weird name though. It's like
well, he's omnipresent.
I like
Yeah.
Monster Girl's power. That's a nice little twist. That the more
That is-
she's
Yeah.
using it, the younger she
Younger
gets.
she gets.
and
Yeah.
that shit was weird. And that shit was weird too. Where Robot like kind of fell in love with her, and then he made
Yeah.
himself into a boy.
See-
into a
Yeah,
boy.
but he
to
was
do
a
that.
freaky looking thing.
If
Yeah.
that happens in the comics, it hasn't happened yet, at least for me. So it's like at this beginning, that felt kind of strange for me too, because they kind of give him that kind of like shady twist there for a
Yeah.
little bit. Then you
Yeah.
find out the real only reason that he did that so he can form, he can give himself a new husk to be in.
And I thought and what I did think at least came true in the seventh episode where Robot went to when Robot helped break those two guys who could duplicate themselves or clone themselves out of
I like
out
those
of,
guys.
out of- yeah,
Yeah,
out of-
they're
they're
funny.
funny. Yeah, I'm the original one. No, I'm the original
Yeah.
one. When he helped them break out of jail, so obviously they can make a new body for Robot, but they also helped regenerate that dude who was kind of like Wolverine almost.
Oh yeah, the immortal.
Yeah, the immortal. So like I kind of had a feeling that the Robot was they were gonna reassemble
flip
him.
on him?
Yeah, reassemble him so they could find out what really happened. But obviously we didn't know the immortal didn't even get a chance to tell what really happened because he just came out of his thing and he was like, "Where's Omni-Man?" and just fucking went buck wild.
Well, that happens in the comics as well.
Yeah, but it's not like they told Cecil or or anybody else at the the superhero council. It's like he just awoke and just went full on fighting, Omni-Man.
Yeah, that happens in the comics
Yeah.
also, except that Robot doesn't help those two guys bring back the immortal. They do it, I guess, to go after. I don't really know why they do it. See, there's some things in the comics that happen that they don't have a good explanation for, and maybe that's the reason why they changed some things in the TV show. But yeah, those two guys bring back the immortal, and then the immortal goes butt wild, and then you have that fight there. And then
Which
that's
that was a good fight.
That was a pretty good fight. Although, I mean, did he really feel like he stood a chance the second time?
He was kind of messing, but he was kind of messing Omni-Man up at one point. Like he kind of felt like, oh shit, is this going to happen? Is he really going to have him? And then Omni-Man was like, what?
Yeah.
And that was that. He's like, now I beat you for a second time, and it's like,
Yeah. So, but
and then
My favorite character is the one-eyed alien.
oh, the one that's kind of like he
Alan.
reminds me of some. Yeah,
Alan the alien.
he reminds me of something like out of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
So
the guy who sits on the moon who was sitting
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
moon
that
with him
is
at the end?
a
Okay.
telepathically. It's
Yeah.
like you got the wrong planet.
yeah, you got the wrong planet. That's pretty funny. Invincible sure gets his ass whooped a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Like everybody whips his ass.
Yeah, he got owned quite a few times. I think the worst ass beating he took though was from his dad.
Oh,
Yeah,
his
man.
dad definitely laid it on him.
But
Yeah,
like
he
the
did.
dad, but it's funny though. But it's like the dad. Obviously the fight with Omni-Man. Like Omni-Man freaking knocked his teeth out,
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden his teeth were able to come
Literally.
back.
yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that when he was in the bed and he recovered,
Yeah.
and then his teeth were. I was like, that's
Yeah.
the first thing I was looking for, and you can see them all there.
Yeah, like if you just see him smile and he's like,
Well, I mean, it is a secret government
agent.
agency. They probably got a
Yeah.
pretty good dental plan.
Yeah, they probably have a PPO, not an HMO.
But man, out of the 8 episodes, he's been put in a coma. I think at least 3 times.
Yeah, one with the Tiger King kicking his ass.
Yeah.
And then
The
no, I think it was
The robot human guy fucked him up pretty good.
yeah, but it didn't put him in.
They
a
didn't put him in
coma.
a coma. That's true. They
It
didn't
didn't
him in a
put. He
coma.
was only in the coma twice. It was when
Twice.
he fought Omni-Man and the Tiger King.
Right.
Still,
but
that's twice in 8 episodes.
yeah.
That's twice in 8 episodes.
Well, not even that. And he got messed up fighting the robot, like George said. So he's got his butt handed to him quite a few times. It was just funny though. It's like the beginning was getting a little obnoxious for me. In the beginning, where he finally became invincible and he had the suit and everything, and then that one alien invasion they just kept invading over They went back, and then they would
That
come
was
back the next
cracking me
day.
up,
Yeah,
man.
you know, and it's like, and it's like,
Cracking me up.
really, it's like, okay, you got your ass beat. Why do you keep coming back?
Yeah, see, in the comics, that doesn't happen that way, though. So that's one of those things that doesn't make sense to me. It's like in the comics, those aliens come one time, you know, and then Omni-Man gets captured, gets taken into the portal, and then comes back later on in the comic. They never show what actually happens on that planet. They just show.
Yeah, they did.
No, in the TV show
in the
they
comic.
did.
Oh,
In the comic they don't.
Okay.
So, and that happens before the death of the Guardians of the Globe. So, for me, I was like, okay, maybe something happened there that could have changed him, you know. And then they happen really close together. So I feel like that was intentional, putting them in that order. And then it also later on in the comics they come back, and the reason why they come back is because they want revenge on Omni-Man for what they did to what he does to the planet.
Yeah.
And they reveal at that point what happens. In the TV show, it played out the way it played out, which that again, like you said, it kind of got a little weird that they kept coming back over and over.
I found it funny. It was cracking me up. I'm like, you guys keep coming back and getting your ass whooped. Stupid.
Yeah.
Made me think about where Iron Man was like, Earth is closed today.
Yeah.
But you know, I also like the you know, the storyline with him just as Mark himself, you know, and the struggles of trying to, you know, cope with reality, trying to manage his own life, you know, and obviously, you know, like every superhero, you know, trying to keep the secret from their friends and their, you know, and their significant others and whatnot, and you know, and eventually, you know, obviously, you know, his friend winds up finding out. And then, you know, the girl,
Amber seems to just
the girl
know.
Amber. Yeah, and the funny thing is that like
No, but I like that.
That Amber knew?
Yeah, I like that because there's just certain things where it's like with Superman. Really, a pair of glasses is gonna fucking see people?
Yeah,
No.
but no,
I mean, he
but
has a half mask
yeah,
on,
his
bro.
whole man. Yeah, but he has a
Yeah,
half
but don't you
mask on.
think like if one of you was a superhero, I think I would know watching it, having talked to people, hanging out with them, kind of get to know mannerisms and stuff like that. It's gonna come through. All right.
I'd be like,
I don't give a shit if you are wearing a
clothes. The minute I did that, you'd be like, "That's George."
When Frankie sees me sliding across the floor like a gelatinous blob, he'd be like, "Oh, that's the blob. That's the blob."
Oh shit!
I just think you would know.
Yeah,
There's just
I
some
mean,
things that
yeah,
don't
the
make sense.
Yeah,
You know?
the glad that how people couldn't tell that Superman, you know, was Clark, you know, with the glasses just
Right.
baffles me.
Yeah,
and even in
that-
the TV show, like the kids were baffled too. You know, he takes off
Right.
the glasses, and the kids are like, "Our dad is Superman." Like
Right.
you've never seen your dad walk around the house without glasses on.
Right.
Like I wear my glasses when I'm at work. I wear my glasses when I'm driving. You know, but I don't wear my glasses when I'm home.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not that we get off subject, but we're talking Invincible,
right.
not Superman.
It's
It's just one of those things that like always like somehow like you know, amplified in the TV show. Like here, prime example. How do you not know it's Omni-Man?
Yeah,
All he does is a suit. He
Right.
doesn't have a mask
The
on
face
his
is exactly like it.
how,
Yeah.
how do you not know that Mark's dad is Omni-Man? How do you not know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
his house should be the most fucked up out of any superhero
Yeah.
because every villain should be bombarding that place.
Yeah, it's like how do you not know?
Although nobody wants to mess with a Vulturemite.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vulturemite.
Yeah,
And I do like that origin story.
I
mean,
like
that
the
is
origin
pretty
story.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Well,
Yeah.
but it was funny though because like we got two different stories. We got like the happy-go-lucky version in the beginning where he's like, "I was sent here to protect this planet."
No, I love the way they did that.
Yeah, and then obviously in the episode where he, you know, he reveals the truth. He's like, "Our planet's to enslave and take over other planets," and no,
Yeah.
that's not what Vulturemites do, Daddy. No,
Yeah.
you know.
In the comics, his friends were very different. First off, the best friend was not gay in the comics. He was, and later on, ends up dating Adam Eve, which I feel like that sets up something more with the whole possible relationship between the two.
Well, yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, it was funny because I got that vibe too. Like, you know, after Amber told him basically to fuck off, that he was going to wind up with, with
Adam Eve.
with Adam Eve at one point. Yeah,
and I thought that's what was going to play out in the comic and in the TV show. It's because now you have the best friend who's gay in the TV show. In the comics, what happens is Adam Eve catches him with Amber, and Amber and him are kissing and everything, and then later on in the comics when Mark is going to her for consolement, he finds out that, or actually this is after his dad leaves and he's just looking for somebody to talk to. Finds out at that point that Adam Eve and his friend are dating, and then you could see that he's a little bit weird about it. So I feel like that could play better in the comics, I think, than it did in the TV show.
I mean, I would choose Adam Eve. I mean, can you imagine your collection you could have? If she was
I know,
your girlfriend. She just make shit for you.
I know. Plus, you can get out of them clothes real easy too. Be like,
and it was cool, like her family situation.
That was cool.
With her
I
dad,
thought that was really good.
He was a real asshole.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool the way they played that out. Trying to think who my favorite character would be on the TV show. You're calling out the alien. He's barely in the show, but he's funny.
Yeah, he's just. I mean, I like his dynamic. As far as like the regular part of the story, well, Demon ain't in there that much either.
He's great. I like that character,
that Demon Detective.
And in the comics,
you mean Hellboy?
Yeah, Hellboy.
Hellboy. So George was showing me right before we got on that in the comics they like rip off a lot of characters.
That's what I'm
saying.
They do. And in the comics, the way they handle that guy, I can't think of what his name is.
Demon.
I can't think
Dark
of his name.
Blood?
Yeah, Dark
Blood. Damien Darkblood.
Yeah. Damien Darkblood.
Yeah.
The way they handle him, they don't take him, bring it, or at least at this point in the book, they don't take him and put him back in hell. In the comic, the same thing does happen. He's investigating the whole murder of the Guardians of the Globe, but he comes back later on, telling him, I finally figured out who killed them, and they're like, oh, we already figured it out. It was Omni-Man. Where you been? And they just start laughing at him, and he has to like walk out, with his head down.
Jesus.
So I thought that was pretty funny the way they played that off. But favorite character, man, that's a tough one for me on this show.
They all kind of split up pretty. It's either they got the ones that do have a lot of screen time, pretty even, and I mean, but the story is just focused mostly on Mark and Omni.
Yeah,
it's really your whole focus. With probably the next one that there's a lot of focus is that director guy.
Yeah, Cecil.
Yeah.
Cecil. Yeah.
He's a dick. He's just like Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Very Nick Fury-ish.
And it's funny too because again, like he doesn't have like his eyes or any, he has both of his eyes, but he's got that scar along the face, so it's like they had to give him
there's some kind of backstory there for what happened to him that he has.
And he's a teleport, and clearly he's a teleporter, so I mean
but see the teleportation thing that happens, and I don't know if they said it in the TV show, in the comic, the teleportation thing is something that the government developed that costs a lot of money to use.
Oh, so he doesn't have superpowers then?
No.
I thought it was a piece of tech.
It's a tech.
I thought he was like just an older superhero, and he could just teleport.
No, in the comics, he gets this teleportation device, and he teleports in, and then when he's talking to Mark, it's because he's telling Mark about the situation, I think, and he tells him he's like that it costs like $40 million or something like that, US dollars, to teleport him, So then he goes to leave, and his friend, the guy that gets killed by Omni-Man, the one with the glasses. Yeah. He's like, hey, can you take me along? He's like, no, you're kidding me? It costs America a bunch of money to teleport people. And then he like disappears, and he gets teleported out. So I was like,
you gotta walk.
Good. Yeah, you gotta walk. You're not there. So yeah,
I had to look it up too, because I was like the guy that creates the costumes. I was like, damn, this dude's voice sounds familiar.
Who played him?
It's Mark Hamill.
Really?
Yeah.
Seriously, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, they got a lot of
big names in there.
Yeah, what is it? J.K. Simmons is Omni-Man.
Yep.
Okay.
You've got Stephen Yeun, who played what's his name? Glenn on The Walking Dead. He's Invincible.
Okay.
Oh God, who else do they got? They got a bunch of other
Zachary
people.
Quinto's robot.
Yeah, Zachary. Yeah, his robot. Yeah, Zachary Quintero is robot. But yeah, I mean, it's cool that they got a lot of voice actors. Oh, one of the guy who plays what's his nuts on The Walking Dead. It's another Walking Dead guy. He's the guy with the tiger. Forgot his Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Yeah, there you go. Ezekiel. The actor who plays Ezekiel voices I think Titan.
Titan.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just cool though. Like they got like a whole bunch of voice actors, but God, it's like I'm laughing though because it's like I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about this, and it's like, man, it's like this guy like that wrote this comic literally ripped off like every superhero like known to mankind. Like I'm surprised like next season we'll see like some Marvel knockoffs, instead of because this season was more DC-ish, where I feel next season they should make it all Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll do that, man. I don't know if Disney will allow it.
Well, it does. Well, DC obviously didn't allow.
You just got to make it a certain percentage different.
Yeah, and see, I think
DC impersonate it.
Yeah, and I think that DC is okay with it, or maybe they just say, the hell with it. That it is what it is. But Disney, man, they don't like that shit at all. You try to do any kind of parody of their stuff, they jump in your ass. Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
well, they got Disney. Well, I think it's safe to say that Disney
got public defenders.
Yeah. It's easy to say that Amazon and Disney can go toe to toe over this if they want.
Yeah. So, right.
Yeah. Well, I know, right? They could, I guess.
Yeah. The battle of the megabucks.
Because this isn't the first time. You figure in The Boys it was the same thing. The whole
Homelander. Homelander was Superman. The Deep was Aquaman.
Yeah.
What is it? The girl was Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah, because they had Darkwing in this.
Yeah, I don't know who you would compare.
Yeah, Darkwing.
Starlight.
Yeah,
I laughed.
That just made me start thinking of Darkwing Duck.
Yeah, that's what it made me think of. Darkwing Duck. It's like I know you're Batman, but man, I'm thinking Darkwing Duck when you say that name.
Yeah.
So.
But overall, it is a really good show. I do.
And then I like I like that one end credit scene. I think it was from episode 6. Where these two guys are digging up the immortal, and they're like, "Oh, if you drink the blood from his head or something, you get his powers." Yeah, from the skull, you get his powers. And it's like, but dude, I read it on Reddit, so it must be true.
Yeah,
it must be true. They had some good funny scenes in there.
Yeah, they had some good stuff. I like when the you know what I felt like I was watching at one point in the very first episode, where they were waiting to see if Mark was going to get his powers or not. I felt like I was almost watching Sky High, like I was like when the kid was like trying to find out whether he was going to get his powers or not.
I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that movie too because he had like 2 superhero parents, but then like they weren't sure if the powers would transfer, and he's like, "You got super strength," and then like all of a sudden he could fly, and so yeah. But yeah, I felt like I was kind of like it almost felt like that in the beginning, and then obviously once all the blood and gore started, I was like, "Yep, this is not Sky High."
What'd you think about the mom getting involved in the investigation of that whole thing? You felt like that worked, because that didn't happen in the comics.
Dude, honestly, like I felt so bad for the mom.
Right.
Like I really felt bad for the mom. Like when freaking Omni-Man basically referred to her as a pet. As a pet. I was like, wow, that is like an all-time fucking low.
Okay, but look how that scenario played out, though. Okay, so she investigated the murder. She found out her husband killed them. Then she tried to justify it, but they're fighting at this point.
Yeah.
And then they get to that end scene where he calls her a pet.
Yeah.
I'm like, how did that feel as a whole? That whole thing, because in the comics it plays out differently. She's oblivious to all of this until that moment. Until the moment where he called. She's watching that same way plays out where she's watching it on TV.
Yeah.
And she sees her husband call her a pet, fighting her son, and then call her a pet and say that she means nothing to him.
I
mean, even then, in the cartoon, I mean, she's really kind of, I guess, holding out hope, right? So it's like, I've had this perfect marriage, my husband's a big superhero, but then it was just building up, and then she goes, so I found this bloody costume. There's got to be a reason he's doing this because I know who he is. And then when she hears that, it's like, one, that was a big shock because, they're just up there talking. Mm-hmm. And then it reveals that she was able to hear everything.
She was at the command center.
But they didn't really broadcast that people were listening in on their conversation. Yeah. You think it's just them having the conversation. Mm-hmm. You don't realize that Cecil and them are listening. Mm-hmm. And for her to hear that, you're like, damn, that's fucked up.
Mm.
Like I almost
Yeah,
like
that
I
shit was
am
pretty fucked up.
like I almost thought that when she found the suit and he found out that she knew about it, like I was almost certain that he was going to kill her.
I thought he was gonna kill her. Yeah,
Yeah,
I thought so
and
too.
obviously that didn't happen. So because
That's
clearly,
the only-
clearly he has some kind of compassion for
Right.
for her, but then again, he calls her a pet. So it's like, okay, how much compassion can you really have for her then?
And it's kind of like the only thing that doesn't mesh for me, because obviously he just took out the Earth's best superhero, right? What else is there left to fuck with him?
There's nothing except for
There's-
except
it's
for his
like
son.
Mark.
Why is he still hiding around? I mean, why is he not just going on and carrying on with the mission?
Well,
Yeah,
that's what
see-
he did. He left. Well, but that's what he did. He left. They basically said he left the planet. So he left to go get the other Volamites or whatever they're called.
Ultramates. I don't know that he
Ultramates.
did that, and it was even in the comics. I don't know where he went. So I don't.
Okay.
He left and he hasn't come back yet.
Well, I'm feeling he left to go get the other Voltramites to come back and
I'm
take
feeling
over
like
the
he
planet.
left to go work it out in his head.
In his head, that's what I think. I think he went to because he can't go back to the Vultramites. I think it said that he gave up because they don't give up. And then
Yeah.
I don't think that Mark can handle even the weakest of that planet.
Right. Because the whole scene when he's like when he busted his teeth out and he's thinking about him as a kid when they were playing baseball. And
That
then
was great.
him leaving afterwards, that's what made me think that he's like trying to rethink the whole thing.
Yeah, he's upset with himself over
Yeah.
fighting his son. I think, and I got those vibes in the comic, but I really did like the added scene of that showing the baseball scene. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, having the flashback,
flashback.
to like a happy
Yeah.
a happy moment.
A happy moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like
It's-
that was missing.
Yeah, it showed that there was still some good in him, but how much good is really
Well,
left in
and the
him.
reason I think it made him change is because he changed in that moment. Because he knew what his mission was, and then he really didn't care about going to see some stupid baseball game. Like, I've got better things I could be doing right now. And then his whole mindset changed when she's talking about how you feel through the kid.
Right. Right. Yeah, I thought that was a real powerful scene. That's why I don't agree with you, Seth, about the last episode. I feel like the last episode was really good. It wasn't bad at all. You felt like
No,
it fell flat?
Yeah, like I wish it would have ended. I didn't like the way it ended. Really, that's the way it is with him and the other guy, the alien, just sitting on the moon, talking. Like I was like, that's kind of a lame way to end the episode. I'm like,
But why?
Well,
what would you have liked to have seen different?
like honestly, like I don't know, like I felt that was just kind of lame to me the way they ended it. Like I don't know, like if they were gonna, maybe he was gonna catch up with his father, or maybe they would have ended it with him since there really aren't many superheroes left. Like it would have ended with like him, like them calling him saying, "Invincible, we need you." Like, when they're calling Omni-Man and, he rushes and tries to fight off whatever horde is coming in or whatnot. But him sitting on the moon talking to that guy, it kind of fell short for me.
Okay.
Well, any scene with that guy just makes
My feeling behind that last part of the ending was just that he was coming to terms with it and he was gonna go and be Omni.
He was going to be Earth's defender.
Earth's defender. Yeah.
I mean, and how's he going to do that? 'Cause he's got a whole planet full of him.
Well, right now he's just. I mean, in the comics at least, he's just dealing with Earth's issues because they haven't come back yet. He hasn't had to deal with that yet. He is gonna have to deal with that alien invasion again. They're gonna have to come back.
Oh yeah, and them.
So, I don't know what else, or like even the bad guys. Like, what supervillains do you have that you're gonna fight? I guess we'll find out.
And you know what I thought was funny is that guy that was at the college that created those robots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
weirdo.
Cecil asked that guy to create more robots because obviously we saw that at the end of towards the end of episode 8,
Yeah.
like they were creating an army because those guys actually gave Omni-Man a little bit of a run for his money.
Right.
So it makes you wonder. Now, when I first saw that guy show up at the class and he had the suit and tie on and everything, the dude just kind of was giving me like Loki vibes.
Yeah, he did kind of low key.
Yeah, he was kind of giving me kind of Loki vibes a little bit. So I was just like, oh, okay. I was like, let's see where this shit goes.
I guess looking back, I kind of like the way they brought him in at this point because he comes in later on in the comic book, but I like how they did that. And I did like the way they set up Titan because I guess Titan will be his main bad guy that he would deal with, the kingpin of bad guys, I guess.
But usually when, something from a book gets made into a movie, it's either hit or miss. How is it for you, having read the comic or the cartoon?
I think it's because the majority of the season was really dealing with the basically the same thing that happened in this book. You're dealing with the relationship between Omni-Man and Invincible. I felt that in that aspect, I liked the comic better. The way that they delivered that in the comic better. Now, all of the other stuff that they put into this season that I think will set up the next 2 seasons, because they've been signed on for 2 more seasons, so we're gonna at least get 2 more seasons of Invincible. I think that it sets up what's happening later better than what the comic did. Because like right now where I'm at in the comic, I'm in that lull again. It's like, okay, we had this real high where Omni-Man is the main villain. He's the Vader of this whole thing, and then now we're in this point where it's like your filler episodes. Hey, we got this bad guy, Invincible, go fight them. He fights them, beats them, move on to the next thing. We got a new bad guy, go fight him. I'm like, all right, it's getting a little redundant.
Right.
So I think that is something I like better about the TV show. So,
but it still feel like they both hold up. Like you're okay with how the series is going.
Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed it. I was there.
You don't feel like
Friday
it's betraying it in any way.
No, I don't. I just feel like it gives you different vibes from it.
Yeah.
It's like
so you can it seems like
view.
you can kind of enjoy 2 different things, right? So you got
the
same story, but you can enjoy the reading it and watching.
Yeah.
And not feel like you're reliving the whole thing all over.
Yeah.
A little fresh.
It is. It does feel fresh because it's like I didn't even know I don't know where they're gonna go from this Nexus because it's not like the comic in that sense.
Just gives you a little bit of. You got some things like, oh, okay, yep.
Yeah.
Or see kind of where it's gonna lead.
Yeah. So I really loved the show overall. I think it was really good.
So how many episodes is this season?
8. That's it.
Oh, so it's done now?
It's done.
Yeah, but they renewed it for seasons
2 more
2 and
seasons.
3. So
2 more seasons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we gotta wait a year?
Well, however long it takes. Whatever it takes, Frankie. Whatever it takes.
Well, to deliver that kind of animation, because that animation was good. That's not like your run-of-the-mill animation.
Yeah.
That's pretty well done in my thoughts.
Yeah,
I know people thought that it was kind of weird seeing something so colorful and bright, and then you have all that blood.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people had an issue with that.
No,
but I
think
thought it
they
was
can
great.
hurry up with this. I mean, they can work from home.
Yeah.
Oh, Frankie.
I did a great job with it, though. Great job. So, yeah, man, that's how I feel. How do you guys think about it? You guys can't wait for next season?
I liked it. I'm definitely waiting patiently for the next season. I'm interested to see where the storyline goes. I mean, that's kind of like almost like what I did with The Boys. Like, I like The Boys, so then like basically what I did is that I bought most of the omnibusts from The Boys, and I started reading that. So eventually, I'll probably start down and sit and read Invincible, so I could see like what George like from George's perspective. Okay, like this happened in the comic, but it didn't happen in the show. This happened in the show, but it didn't happen in the comic. It's like I like to get both sides of it, so it makes better sense.
I'll let you borrow the book. I already finished the first one. I'm in the middle of the second. So, but there's a lot of books. It's been going on a long time.
Seth likes to read.
Which is a good testament to like who's publishing?
I think it's not Image.
It's not Image.
I think it's Robert Kirkman's comic thing.
It is Robert.
He's got his own publishing.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Well, the point is that there's some good indie stuff out there that
There is.
don't be afraid to read it. It ain't all got to be Marvel and DC.
It is Image.
Yeah,
It is Image?
Yeah.
Image.
Damn, they still around?
It's
I
Skybound.
knew something.
Skybound Entertainment.
Huh.
So it's Skybound Entertainment, but under Image Comics.
When did it start?
Good question, man. don't see where the date is on it.
Back in 2013.
Probably a long time ago. As many issues
Crazy.
as there is. I mean, I think it's a fresh take on a whole superhero.
I hope they make some figures from it.
Right. I would be down for that. I would like to get an Omni-Man figure or an Omni-Man
I
statue.
would like to see them make some figures from
Well,
it. I think that
I
would
know
be
they're
cool.
making a lot of files for it.
Shoot.
They're gonna make files for it.
Dude, I
Frankie.
would like to see an Omni-Man statue, like with him holding the alien. You hate one of the alien heads all bloody.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
angry.
definitely got to be
angry,
bloody.
yeah.
Yeah, that would look dope.
I mean, I've already seen an Invincible statue.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Tate's had it. It's
Tate's
in their
had
case. It's in their case. It actually shows up in one of my hunt videos.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so but it's just him like he's looking up and flying like this, and he has like the cloud coming up behind him almost. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, he reminds me of Blue Beetle.
Blue
With
Beetle.
the eyes, right?
Yeah, it reminds me of Blue Beetle because even the colors are the same, aren't they? He was
Mhm.
blue and yellow, wasn't he?
I think it was
I think it was mostly blue.
mostly blue and gold. No, that was Booster Gold. Yeah,
Booster Gold. I forgot about him.
I don't even know. I get kind of the Spider-Man vibes from him when you know, his
like the
personality.
Peter Parker,
Oh,
Peter
the big-
Parker,
yeah,
the Peter
yeah.
Parker type thing.
Yeah.
You know, I get that a little bit, but mostly, yeah, I don't even know where to put him at with as far as in DC goes. I'm definitely looking forward to season 2. I think it's gonna be good.
I mean, it's about an
So-
8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Would you give it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would say that's a safe. That's a
Yeah.
safe judgment.
Yeah, I'd say the same. Good. That's a good one.
Yep.
So
Good job,
guys.
Frankie.
So that's it, man. That's our thoughts on Invincible. What did you guys think about Invincible? Let us know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous.